Today we're going to learn how to use the extruder. You'll want to wedge about 4 pounds of clay and slam it down so that it becomes a long rectangle like this. Next, you're going to choose what shape you want to come out of the extruder, so you look at this bin of dies that's sitting on the windowsill. So for example, this would create a ribbon. This one could create a coil, and since you don't want 4 different size coils, you use this piece to determine which size will come out of the extruder. My assistant is going to demonstrate how to make a tube with this hexagon die. He's taking the hexagon die and placing this metal piece that has a washer in the middle in the center, and then he'll put that on the extruder. So first he's sticking the die in, then he puts the bottom part on, then he's going to use the bolts to secure to the base. Okay, this takes a second to do.
Obviously I didn't do it.
And maybe more than one hand to help out. He'll use the Allen wrench to tighten the die to the bottom of the machine. If there's any gap right here, that's going to cause clay to squish out of that gap. So he'll tighten it nice and tight.
Nice.
All right, now my assistant is going to lift the handle of the extruder, and he's going to insert that 4-pound block of clay. You want to make sure that that is really all the way inside. If it's sticking out, then there's too much in there and you won't be able to put the depressor in. Okay, go ahead. Okay, and we want to make sure that's all the way in and not hanging over the edge when we start to pull down the lever. And we're going to push as hard as we can, and you can see the clay starts to come out. Okay, and then he's going to carefully kind of twist that piece off. And we have a hollow tube.
Okay.
Now that we have our extruded tube out of the extruder, we're ready to start building with it. Just like when we get a slab out of the slab roller, we can't start building until we compress the sides. The same thing goes for the extruder. You can see all of these ridges in the surface from the die, and you can see how the clay kind of stretched really quickly. So we want to compress it to make sure that this is going to be a strong structure that won't crack. And it looks better too. So I can start to make this hexagon shape a little sharper by taking my rib tool. I'm gently compressing the sides so it doesn't collapse, and removing all of those ridges. I'm going to do this before I start cutting or manipulating this tube at all. You can see I even have a little bit of an air pocket, or maybe it was a hard piece of clay. That's going to help you find those inconsistencies when you compress it, and make sure you get those out of there before it goes through the firing process.